What's up, guys? Crypto Muser here with your daily news and analysis in the crypto markets. Now, we have some pain in the markets, obviously, today. It's funny how it says Bitcoin's up 1%, Ethereum up 2%, 2.5% on the day, but obviously we know otherwise, right? Because the last couple days we've seen Bitcoin break that $40,000 level, hit, I think the low was 38.2. Now it's kind of battling, getting rejected at the $39,000 level. Is this anything new, guys? You know, a week ago we were at 45,000 almost, and the bulls were back in town, right? Everybody, all the influencers out there were saying the bull market's back on. We're hitting 100,000 in no time, and then all it takes is a couple days later, price breaks below 40,000, and the bears are back, right? All the influencers out there now are bearish. They're yelling 20,000. They're saying we could be in a 3-year bear market now. Everybody get ready. It's just funny how the sentiment changes on the drop of a hat in this market, right? You know, we've been in extreme fear, or actually we broke out of extreme fear for a little bit there, but we've been basically below 40 on the fear and greed index for the last 3.5 months or so, right? It's just, you know, when there's so much fear in the market, and it's not just this market, and it's the stock market, it's the world markets. When there's this much fear in the market, you know, people's emotions run them, right? This is the worst thing you can do in this market is let your emotions dictate your trades or your investment opportunities, right? You know, obviously this is the most volatile market in the world. This is not for the faint of hearts. If you think you can just come in this market and throw money at coins, at meme coins or whatever, you will get wrecked in this market, right? You know, everybody probably heard a story that, oh, we made this amount of money or whatever on Dogecoin or Shiba Inu, and they think they can be that person, right? Not the case, guys. 9 out of 10 times you will lose money in this market if you think you can just, you know, gamble, right? This is not for gambling. Yeah, you might hit that 1 out of 1,000 chance, but then you'll throw that money on something else and lose it the next trade, right? If you're using your emotions, if you are risking more money than you can lose in this market, you will get wrecked. 95% of day traders in this market lose money. Unless you are highly trained, you've been in these markets for years, or you have the right tutoring, like my man Crypto Lifer on the Crypto Lifer channel. He's been in this market for 6 years. He's been glued to these charts 16 hours a day sometimes, that guy. That's the type of person, that's the type of research, the knowledge you need to have to make it in this market. So I definitely implore you guys to go, you know, learn from him. He is the best in the game. But don't think you can just jump in here after a YouTube channel or after a tutor session and think you can make money in this market, because that is not the case, and you will learn the hard way if you think that way. So just want to put it out there. Long-term investors like me, that's the way I trade, is I dollar cost average, and you know, I do research, I do my due diligence, I get into projects that I think have a future, and I dollar cost average when I see big dips or consolidation, and I wait. I set a price target on where I want to sell, and everything else, you know, in between is noise, right? I have a plan set up, right? And everybody should have a plan. Do not use emotion, because when this market decides to all of a sudden flip and go bullish, and your emotions start taking control of you, and you don't know what to do, that's when you should have a plan set on, you know, have price targets, have sell orders. So when it does come, it's just like, okay, I knew this was going to happen. Here's my price target, sell, and I'm good to go, right? Not financial advice, obviously, but, you know, long-term investing in this market, unless, like I said, you are highly trained, is the way to go, right? You put your money, dollar cost average into these markets when, you know, we are in bear markets, or if we're at huge dips like this. If you just, you know, slowly invest and take this as a long-term investment, you cannot lose in this market. If you look at a monthly chart in this market, you can see that this thing has been going up for the last, 6-10 years, whatever it is, whatever asset you're looking at. If it's a, asset that's been around here for, 6 to 10 years, you've seen it's been in an uptrend since its inception, right? But if you look at the, daily 4-hour, 1-hour chart, you see just a bunch of up and down swings. I mean, how can you how can you even try to make money in those smaller time frames unless, like I said, you were highly trained, and even those people lose money most of the time. So just remember, be safe, zoom out. Like I always say in this market, when in doubt, zoom out, and patience is key in this market. Patience, patience, patience. I can't say that enough, guys. Take the emotions out and just breathe and stop. These influencers out there will get you wrecked real quick because, they switch bull bear on a daily basis and you can't keep up with it, right? So just want to calm the nerves out there, guys. Remember, when in doubt, zoom out. But let's get on with the video. Just before I get into it, I just want to say if you guys could please like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Would be very much appreciated. And I appreciate all the support I'm getting out there from you guys, especially the lifers over there, Crypto Lifer channel. Really can't even say enough about you guys. Just a shout out to the lifers over there. So let's get on with the video. So XRP Crypto Wolf tweeted this out yesterday. Biden expected to issue executive order on crypto oversight this week. Now, I've heard a lot of people talking about this order. Some saying it's bullish, some say it's going to be bearish. I think it's going to be somewhere in between, right? I think it's going to be along the lines of, get all the agencies together, get all the regulators together, Congress get together. We need to start coming up with real, concise, and good regulation for innovation in this country, right? We're seeing other countries starting to lead in this technology. Now we're seeing Russia get involved. China, as much as they say they're banning Bitcoin and doing all this, I think they're definitely getting involved with CBDCs or whatever. So we see the rest of the world start to take charge in this technology, and now it's time for the U.S. Right? They're starting to open their eyes to this technology is here to stay, and it's time for us to lead in this innovation, just like we led in the internet boom back in the late 90s and early 2000s. So what I think this executive order will say is that get all the agencies together. In the next couple months, 3 to 6 months, let's come up with some real clear and concise regulation for this market. Obviously, they're going to mention money laundering and criminal activity, ransomware hacks and all that stuff. But that's obviously, that's what governments do, But I think all in all, this will be bullish for the markets because, now they're taking it seriously, right? 2 years ago, if you told me that Biden or whatever president at the time would be given an executive order on crypto, I might have believed you, but I just think this has been happening quicker than I even thought, right? Like, they're finally taking us seriously, guys. That's how you need to take this. In the last year, this market has grown like I've never seen before. Like, we have the NFT market going crazy. We have the metaverse coming. We have DeFi, all these new instruments in this market, and it's going to grow even more. Just know that this asset class is still in its early stages. 1.8 trillion dollar market cap is still nothing, guys. You got to look at the bigger picture on this. This will be $100 trillion market 5 to 10 years down the line. So know you're in the right space, and this is a huge sign with this executive order that should be coming out. They say this week, but they also said it was going to be the first week of February. We didn't get that, so I guess soon we'll get this, right? But let's move on to the next thing I have for you guys. So blockchain backer, this fractal's been crazy. So let's zoom in on his fractal. So he's had this fractal going on for it's a 5.5 month fractal. And it's just, I can't even believe how spot on this fractal has been. Like, we were talking about it on his channel back here, thinking, it's crazy how this has been following for only, a month and a half. When is it going to, at some point it's probably going to, do its own thing, right? Well, it kept going on, and look at this. It's like spot on too. It's not even that it's like kind of looks like it. It's literally spot on with this fractal. The only time it kind of did its own thing was we wanted this double bottom down here, and it almost looked like it wanted to, but it got bought back up. We went above this trend line, and then a couple days ago I had a video where we were talking about, I wouldn't be surprised if we retest this trend line. And it's not like I'm the only one looking at this, not this fractal, but I'm not the only one looking at this chart here, right? The algorithms, other people that are pattern traders, hundreds and hundreds of traders thousands even, are looking at this chart, right? And when we get above the trend line, we like to retest that trend line. Anybody that, is in Lifer's channel or, knows anything about TA, when you break a trend line, you'd like to come back, retest it. And everybody always talks about that retest. That's a huge buying opportunity, right? So you have buyers sitting down here waiting for this retest of that trend line, and then we go boom, right? So that saying, and I've been saying it the last couple of days on this channel. Show me the chart, and I'll show you the news. Well, show you this chart, and it looks like we're gonna have a nice boom upwards, right? So what news could we get in the next week or so? Well, I just talked about that executive order. Ukraine, Russia, this whole FUD scare tactic thing out there. Don't be surprised in the next couple days. All of a sudden you see a huge headline. Russia, Ukraine calms down, moves markets back upward, right? Don't be surprised. So, like I said, show me the chart and I'll show you the news. If we see, it's just ready for a news article right now, right? We're waiting for that executive order. The Russia scare to calm down. Like, don't be surprised. Even if the Fed comes out and says, we're not going to higher interest rates yet, we're going to continue on with the liquidity injections. So, guys, just like, everybody's been screaming about this downtrend we've had, things can change very quickly in this market. Just know that, right? So keep an eye on what's going on here. And like I said, we did exactly what this fractal did. We're retesting that trend line. And we have a lot of buyers. I mean, we hit down at, this is from yesterday, so we hit even lower than this at 36.2. And then we got bought right back up 39,000. So right now we're kind of battling that $39,000 level. Like I said, don't be surprised if we get some news in the next couple of days and it booms us up and we slowly make our way up to that retracement level I've been talking about, guys, at like 56, 58,000, right? And this is where we're looking for an alt season right here in this space and this retrace for Bitcoin. So if you all of a sudden see, a quick boom up for Bitcoin, you see altcoins start to do, 15, 20, 30% gains all of a sudden, that should be a telltale sign that we might be looking at an all season coming in the next couple weeks to a month. So definitely keep an eye on that, guys. Okay. So let's move on to the next thing I have for you. This just shows you, this is Crypto Bull. Just shows you how things can change so quickly in this market. In 2017, XRP sat at 20 cents until the end of November. At the end of December, the next month, just a month later, the price was at $2.50. That's an increase. It's a 12, almost a 13x, 12.5x in a month. I believe we will see a repeat, but this time it will be 80 cents to $10 within 1 month. Anybody that tells you that this can't happen just hasn't been in this market long enough. When you see huge prices to the upside, swings like this, 10x, 12x, 15x, it usually happens very quickly. Within a month. I mean, if you look at back in 2017 when we had alt season then, we had coins just absolutely go crazy in like a month, 2 month period. And these are the times where I said, back in the beginning of my video, you have to have a plan set ahead of time, right? When things start going crazy like that, your emotions will take charge and you'll panic and you'll panic sell, or you'll just sell at the wrong time. You make the bad decisions. If you have an exit plan set up ahead of time, then the emotions are taken out. You have your price target set. When you're going to buy, when you're going to sell. You're going to sell 20% here, another 20% there, whatever it is, whatever exit plan you have, you definitely need to have it, right? Have it set up already so you guys are ready for this, because I'm telling you, it happens quickly. And like I said, your emotions will take control and you'll make mistakes. It's just human nature, right? So like I said, have an exit plan and just be ready for something like this, because I honestly believe, with the SEC case and everything going on in the market right now, it's just getting ready. You can just see the moving around with XRP, the Coinbase relisting, all this stuff is coming together, and it could lead to a big move for XRP. So just keep an eye, guys. Keep an eye on it. Not financial advice. Remember that. So the next thing I want to talk about is the SEC versus Ripple case. John Deaton, if you don't know who he is, he's the attorney representing 63,000 plus XRP investors against the SEC. He's been on it. I mean, I can't say enough about this guy. He also runs cryptolaw.com, where you can go to. He has the Connect to Congress link on his website where you can connect right to your congressmen and women and write them about crypto, about anything really, right? So he tweeted this out yesterday, and I thought this was very important because what he's saying here is that, so we have this fair notice argument that's supposed to come down any day now by the judge, and he's saying that has some implications in the case for sure, but the big thing he's waiting for, and what we should be waiting for, is the reconsideration of those emails and drafts of the Hinman speech, right? I don't know if you guys saw me on the Crypto Lifer show the other day, Lifer Cipher, but we were breaking down on the big news we had in the case, and we were talking about those Hinman, the Hinman speech and those drafts and emails of that speech, and that Ripple's trying to get these drafts, right? What's in these emails, right? Obviously, the SEC is battling to withhold these emails. So I guess I'll read this thread and we'll talk about it. But he breaks it down like, obviously XRP might have been talked about in these, I think it was 63 different emails. It could be very interesting. But let's just read this thread and then we'll talk about it after. Judge Netburn's decision on the motion for the reconsideration will be the biggest decision in the Ripple case. I say that because I don't believe the motion to strike the fair notice is a significant one, because the judge isn't deciding whether or not Ripple had fair notice, but only whether or not it can argue it. So you understand that? So the judge is coming down with this fair notice decision, right? It's not that if Ripple's right with the case about the fair notice, it's about if they can argue that when it goes to trial. Right? So it couldn't really have that. Yeah, it definitely could have some implications on the case, but the emails and drafts of the Hinman speech are like, that's a bombshell. That could like totally ruin the SEC's case, and a settlement would come down like basically in days if those emails have to be released to Ripple. And I've said it time and time again on this channel, I do not, if there's something damning in those emails, the SEC cannot let the public or Ripple see them. And they will ask for a settlement ASAP, because that would take so much power away from the SEC. And we know, like I've been talking about on this channel too, we know the SEC is basically having this huge power grab right now where they're trying to come after everything in crypto, right? And if there's some bad evidence in those emails that takes away that power away from the SEC, that could be detrimental for the SEC going against all these other crypto platforms and exchanges. So it's very interesting what he talks about here, and let's just get more into this thread here. The reconsideration motion relates to the 63 emails containing drafts and comments regarding the Hinman speech he gave about Ether, that Ether is no longer a security. The final version of that speech discusses Bitcoin and Ethereum. Why did we get dark all of a sudden? The final version does not refer or mention XRP. XRP consistently battled Ethereum for the number 2 spot in crypto behind Bitcoin. In January 2018, 6 months before the Hinman speech, XRP hit an all-time high above $3, making it the world's second largest crypto. What are the chances of XRP not being raised in all those 63 emails? What are the chances that at least one person in that email chain brought up XRP? One person in that email chain could have posed a very reasonable question, such as, what about XRP, right? If we're talking about Ethereum and XRP have been battling over that number 2 spot for years, obviously the SEC probably would have brought up XRP in relation to writing the speech. So he continues on and says, once someone understands that ETH, or how ETH was created and utilized, and how XRP was created and utilized, it becomes very logical to ask. For example, attorney Wendy Moore, a partner at Perkins Coie, a law firm very knowledgeable on both Ethereum and XRP, asked the very question. And I'm not going to show you this quick thread, but basically what she's talking about is that, a lot of law firms viewed Ethereum, or at least Ethereum in the early days, that it was a security because it had an ICO. And she also says, if you're going to say, come out, this is right after Hinman's speech. So if Hinman's going to come out and say Ethereum had an ICO and had a securities offering basically early in the early years, but then later became more decentralized and then it wasn't a security, then she's saying, why not mention XRP and Ripple, right? I mean, if you're going to give it to Ether, why not Ripple? And that's the whole argument that Ripple has in this case, is if you're going to come out and say that Ethereum is not a security, why not say XRP too, because XRP and Ethereum, like I said, have been battling over that number 2 spot for years, and they're not very different in the way they were conceived, right? Yeah, Ethereum had an ICO and Ripple didn't, but they're both decentralized. They're both cryptocurrencies. Why not? And like I said, they're both battling over that number 2 spot. Why not say both of them are not securities, right? That's why this whole thing with the SEC is so shady, and that's why there's so many ties to the Ethereum Alliance and Consensus and Joe Lubin and meetings with the SEC. It just doesn't look right. Why not say XRP and Ether are not securities? Obviously, it seemed like, and I mean, you can't argue with that. It seems like there was some conflicts of interest here, right? So let's get further into it. To be blunt, once you understand the Ethereum and XRP, once you understand both Ethereum and XRP, it's impossible not to ask that question. Joseph Grunfest, who helped the Ethereum founders, explained this to the SEC in December 17, 2020 letter. The Perkins and Coie lawyers who advise both platforms raised the same question. It's fair to assume that XRP was brought up in these at least once in these emails. We know that on June 13, 2018, a memo analyzing whether or not XRP was a security had been completed and did not recommend enforcement. If true, the mere fact that XRP was mentioned in the email is exculpatory or relevant. If Judge Netburn ultimately rules that the emails must be turned over, it is huge. Don't forget, even if the SEC persuades her that the emails are covered under DPP, she could still pierce the privilege and order the documents produced. If she rules the emails privileged, but orders the SEC to produce them, it means XRP is referred to in and or the evidence is indeed exculpatory or relevant. If the judge believes evidence is exculpatory and Ripple has no other means of obtaining the evidence, she will pierce the privilege and allow those emails to be turned over. If she overturns her previous ruling and decides the emails are privileged, but doesn't pierce the privilege, the emails, although helpful to Ripple, are likely not as big as we all perceive. The reconsideration will be the biggest decision in this case, short of dispositive motions. So basically what he's saying is these emails, if they have something to do with XRP in them, if they had XRP in the first draft of this speech, and then they took it out later, obviously that's some huge evidence. But if it's, and the judge, no matter what, will give out. I mean, the judge has seen these emails already, so the judge will determine if these are big enough. If this is a big enough issue to give to Ripple. So if there's not anything big, if the XRP is not mentioned, and it's not, if it doesn't really have anything to do with that, then the judge probably won't give those emails. But if there's something huge in these emails that's huge for Ripple, then the judge will turn them over. So very interesting. I thought I had to read that thread because it's just so true. This is why we have this problem with the SEC. You know, like I said, Ripple, I mean, XRP and Ethereum were battling over that top 2 spot back then, early 2018. And the fact that they would come out on national television and give a speech to give clarity to the market for Bitcoin and Ethereum, but leave XRP out, just doesn't look good, right? And then the fact that guy that gave the speech was getting paid $14 million by a law firm that was invested in Ethereum. I mean, you can't make this shit up, guys. I mean, really? I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see that there's maybe some conflicts of interest there. And that's why we've been asking Congress for an investigation with the SEC from day one, because it just didn't seem like there was a fair, this wasn't a fair case from the beginning, right? We need a level playing field, right? We can't have government agencies picking winners and losers in a free market system the way we are. The reason why our free market system works so well is because the market decides who the winners and losers are. It's not the regulators, it's not the governments that decide that, it's the market. That's why our free market system is the best in the world. So let's get into the last thing I want to talk about in this video. So along those same lines, this is Jeremy Hogan. He just put out a video, by the way, with talking about these memos, which was amazing, by the way. So definitely follow him on Legal Briefs at YouTube. But he posted this. Perkins and Coie wrote the legal memos for Ripple back in 2012. Perkins and Coie Koyi also assisted Hinman in his draft for his 2018 Ether is no longer a security speech. The Perkins and Koyi website then posts that other senior officials and the chair of the SEC are in growing consensus. This is so huge because Ripple goes to Perkins and Koyi back in 2012, gives them their business plan, asks them for advice, legal advice on how to do this the right way and how basically how to not break the law. Tell us how we are not selling securities. We need to do this the right way. Give us your legal advice, right? So they came down and said, your business plan, their first business plan, the first business plan they had, they wanted to have an ICO. Perkins and Koyi told them if you have this ICO, they might come down and say this is a securities offering, so it's probably a bad idea. So then the second business plan they give to this law firm, they say, okay, we're not going to have an ICO. We're going to have a venture capitalist funding round where we're going to have outside investors build out our platform instead of selling our coin in an initial coin offering. So they took that advice. They said the ICO is dangerous and you shouldn't have it. So they took that advice and didn't have it, right? And that's what Perkins and Koyi said. And then what the other advice they said try to be more decentralized. Try to build your platform and become more and more decentralized as you move on with business. And that's also something that Ripple continued to do since the inception of Ripple. So the fact that Hinman was assisted by Perkins and Koyi when he drafted this speech that he gave about Ether, and even the language he gives in the speech is exact language that Perkins and Koyi gave to Ripple as advice back in 2012. It's just more and more evidence that the SEC is dead wrong in all this. Even it's funny, in a speech that the SEC gave, Bill Hinman gave, was helped by the same law firm that helped Ripple come up with their whole business strategy to not become a securities offering. So it's just like I said, it's almost like we live in a simulation. You can't make this shit up. The fact that Bill Hinman writes a speech with the help of Perkins Koyi, the same law firm that helps Ripple back in 2012 come up with their business strategy to be basically not a security moving on in the future. So, like I said, you can't make this shit up. It's unbelievable. On a day-to-day basis, I can't believe my eyes when I see things. It's unbelievable. Being in this space, I never thought that I'd be reading legal memos and waiting for depositions. And, when I got into crypto, I thought I'd be, trading crypto, researching coins. Never thought I'd be learning about the legal system like this. It's amazing how much I've learned in the last 4.5 years about the legal system, about the banking system, the world finance. I mean, I've learned more in the last 4.5 years than I probably would have learned in any university or any law class or whatever. It's just unbelievable, the education you get from everything in this space. And I can't, honestly, I couldn't be happier. I love all this stuff. I'm a nerd when it comes to this space, and I just can't say enough about it. I'm just so excited to be in this crypto sphere, and I hope you guys are too. But I'll end the video there, guys. Just remember, please, if you like the content, please like and subscribe, and comment down below. And just remember, I'm not a financial advisor. Please do not take anything I write or say as financial advice. This is for educational purposes only, guys. And thanks, and we'll see you on the next one.